How do you define success?
I would say that I define success as a long-term goal that you have set for yourself and you work towards it for many years. And when you finally achieve that goal, if you keep working further on after the goal, that is success.
I define someone successful if they have a lot of money, but they're also very happy with the way they are in life.
When I think of success, I think of like happiness, kind of both happiness and like wealth and materialistic things.
I think success is defined as when somebody is able to reach all their goals that they set for themselves.
I define success as being able to do what you want to do in your life. I think that's being successful instead of working all your life and being stressed out all the time. I think you need to experience happiness.
Well, being financially independent is a big one because I come from a low-income household and money has always been an issue. Yeah, being financially independent is a really big thing, but I think after that, you're not completely successful. You have to be content with what you're doing and constantly be striving towards something is success. Like, there's not one end goal.
I think mainly when I came out of my depression, it kind of changed just because before my depression, I thought of someone who was successful when they had a lot of money and they were just rich, mainly like millionaires or people who were in like the music industries, things like that. And then when I came out of my depression, I thought people who were successful were more just happy people and didn't even really have to matter about the money, but the money definitely helps.
No, so I think most people when they're younger, when they think of success, they think of like materialistic things like having a lot of money, like having a huge house. But like I think when people grow up and like especially throughout college, they like tend to realize like it's not as important to have a lot of money, but to be happy and to be doing something you enjoy to do in life.
I've always had the first one of being financially independent. That's always been in my mind. But the second one is something I'm learning. And because if you have like one end goal of being successful, of like being like, I'll achieve this, then you'll be bored and uncontent, and that's not success.
I would have to say my great-grandma because she was raised in an orphanage for 17 years and she was raised from absolutely nothing and turned her past into a huge family that she built up by herself.
I think of my aunt mainly just because I've always wanted to be like her. She doesn't really care about what other people say. She's just happy living how she is, and she is doing her own thing, and I kind of want to be like that.
A lot of my family members, especially my grandpa, because he came over to the United States when he was young. He was an immigrant from Portugal, and he worked very hard for everything he got. And it wasn't as much of the money he made, the materialistic things he had. He cared most about like his family, and I think that's what he would describe success as.
I think Bill Gates comes to mind because of, not just because of how much money he made, but what he was able to do with where he started. He obviously started in a garage and was able to achieve everything, and then after he was done, he still worked to make the world a better place that way.
My role model is Michael Jordan, probably one of the most successful athletes of all time because he was such a hard worker at everything he did, and his stats and his achievements kind of backed everything up. Like, he was doing it for good reason. So he's my role model because I look up to the way he did everything 100% and tried to get the best out of his career and his life.
Probably my sister, even though she's still in college just like me, just because she's constantly like making goals for herself and striving towards her bigger goals. I think she's successful in my eyes.